welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your constant presence and for your beautiful comments as well. A special thank you to everyone who has reached out to me on Etsy for a personal reading. You guys are amazing, so thank you so much for putting your faith in me. If you are new to the channel or you've stumbled across it for the first time, please join us. We would love to have you join our beautiful soul family here by subscribing to the channel yourself. I also offer an opportunity to win a free reading with me by subscribing, hitting your notification bell, and dropping your comment below any of my videos, so be sure to do that as well. But if you are here for the tarot reading, today's topic is all about the person on your mind and whether or not you will see this person again. Will your paths cross again? Will you ever see this person again? And if so, what will the circumstances be? What will happen? We have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with the little orange, the light orange butterfly and the 6 of Cups. We have pile number 2 with the purple butterfly and the Wheel of Fortune. And we have pile number 3 with the dark orange butterfly and the Sun. So whichever pile or piles are calling your name, there may be a message waiting from Spirit today. My timestamps are listed below. I am going to jump right into pile number 1 today. Again, today's topic is all about the person on your mind and will you see each other again? Will your paths cross? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the light orange butterfly. Put that right there, or perhaps to this beautiful card, the 6 of Cups, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, will your paths cross again? Will you see this person again in this lifetime? The 6 of Cups is a beautiful card of nostalgia. So you may have grown up with this person. They may have been a very close friend to you. They may not have even been a romantic partner, but maybe you kind of wonder if they would have had that potential ultimately, because there's a lot of wishful thinking associated with this card and memories, and there's really a longing to return to one another. So there's a lot of innocence surrounding this card for me as well. It's one of my very favorite cards in all of the tarot. So let's see. The person on your mind. Will your paths cross again? Will you meet again with this person? For pile number 1, please. So we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse position, combined with the Death reversed. We have the Joker, which is the Fool. Will your paths cross again? The 8 of Wands. It feels like there's this burning desire to communicate something for this person, from this person, perhaps you to this person as well, because it's like we're itching to return to the scene of the crime. We're itching to go back to the drawing board or have a second chance to express something, to take a risk here. And we feel kind of stuck in place because we never took that opportunity. And now it feels like we'll never know unless we get that chance. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Cups. Back of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the 6 of Cups with the Lovers as well. So I'm going to clarify this with a second deck as we go here. Now already it feels like there was a lot of insecurity to express myself, and I feel like both of you feel very mutually. There's also this communication coming through about past life connection and how this could be a karmic loop that you may find with this person at this time. We have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. And to say that there aren't practical concerns in the way now that would impede some sort of reunion, I think is an understatement, because I feel like there are a lot of things in place now, both jobs, family, responsibilities, all sorts of things on your platter, on their platter, which might complicate our desire here for this reunion. And there is a really strong emphasis on the memories and on this shoulda, coulda, woulda feeling that keeps welling up. Even in this Five of Cups says, you pierce my soul. I am half agony and half hope. And it's this desire that we can't let go of to be reunited so that we can emphasize that it's not over for us. We have the Eight of Cups with the Empress. But someone in this connection, particularly perhaps the Divine Feminine, may have moved on into a karmic connection. And so there's this emphasis on her journey being the impediment to the future. But that may be mutual. And there could be a lack of information. Like we may not know what the other person is up to, for instance. Three of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles. And we have the Three of Cups. And I want to clarify as I go here. You will cross paths with this person again. You will be reunited with this person again. And it feels like it's going to be some time before this happens. So there's going to be a significant delay. So patience will be required and needed in this situation. So there's a little bit of sadness associated with this reunion of souls here, because it still is based in friendship. It's celebratory, but there's a sense of pause. It's like we can't move forward from that reunion at that time because of position, because of choice. We have the Lovers here ruled by Gemini, so there could be a Gemini amongst us perhaps, but there's also this sense of choice and decision and having to think logically when that meeting occurs. How will they be reunited? It doesn't feel like a planned meeting when you are reunited with this person. And I feel like it is a little bit unsatisfying because I don't feel like we're afforded an opportunity to be alone to discuss anything. I think that there could be other people around, for instance. They could be with family or friends at that time, or you could be with family or friends at that time. So there's this reality that sort of gets in the middle of this desired reunion, because I feel like there's a lot of fantasy surrounding it. There's a lot of wishful thinking. And so we've created a narrative of how we think that's going to go. And that could be something that disappoints us. Because the opportunity, even this Ace of Pentacles, there's this tear coming down with the skull. And there's a sense of, even if we wanted to be brave in that moment, we're not given the opportunity to communicate exactly what we want. But it happens so suddenly that I think we're caught off guard, because here's the Page of Cups on the back of the deck. And so we're caught off guard, and we really have to sort of retreat a little bit into ourselves, or retreat what we want to say. We have to keep it inside in that moment because it feels very sudden, and you may run into this person perhaps like on the street, for instance, but it doesn't feel like the opportunity plays out the way that you want, because we have to hold back. I think there could be some communication, but we have to hold back the emotion that wants to be behind that communication. So let's take a look here and see, how does this person currently feel at this time? Let's ask that question of Spirit. So how are they feeling right this moment, please, Spirit? We have the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So this person even could be watching you, pile one, because they looked into the past quite a bit as well. There's a very mirrored energy here between the two of you. And they also have this belief that it may be only a matter of time before eventually there's some sort of reunion between the two of you. On the floor, we have here the Five of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands in the reverse position with the Four of Cups. Because at this moment, as much as there are solutions to be had, they feel like they can't take them up. They can't take up those solutions. They can't take up that fight and run with it, because they feel like, I feel like there could be commitments that they are a part of here with the Four of Wands at this time. There is definitely a lost mentality when it comes to you, though. And they aren't honest. They don't talk about their feelings when it comes to you. They keep that inside. But their interest in you is very strong because they are very curious about you. It's like they want to, it's like their awareness of you has expanded since childhood, or when they were younger and innocent, and it's expanded into this desire to explore further. So it doesn't feel like an innocent friendship, for instance, in the present energy towards you at this time. Yeah, there's the Devil, the Capricorn energy. But there's also a sense of attachment, a little bit of obsession. If they're watching you, they could be watching you a little bit too much, for instance. And they're still holding on. They're still holding on because they too have this, like all of these fantasies of what could have this been if we had just given in to our feelings, if we had just had enough courage to step outside of our comfort zone. Because here's this dream mentality with the Nine of Cups of putting you up on that pedestal, but not quite being able to get to you. It's like so close yet so far away to everything that they could have wanted. So they're holding up. They're holding on to this connection. And this wall that's built around them, it could be a foundation that they've built to create security in their life. And now that's the same thing that kind of impedes them from being able to access you or head towards you in some way. How do they truly feel, please, about pile 1 at this time? I am scared to face you. It's like nervous jitters. It almost feels like nervous jitters. It's like if the two of you ran into each other, you would act as if you had dated, even though you didn't date. It feels strange, like you would get very nervous around each other. It would be very awkward, but it shouldn't be. Like it's supposed to be an old friend. It was supposed to be a happy reunion, but you would be so nervous. And they feel nervous to see you too. I go home all to myself. It's revert. I feel like they don't go home to themselves, physically speaking, but there is an isolation and a loneliness with this Hermit energy. And even the 8 of Cups here, there's a certain amount of emotional dissatisfaction that could be present. The realization of what they had lost came after the disconnect. And we are fated to meet again. But it is the Wheel of Fortune reversed because they don't know how to make that happen. They think it's going to happen. They want it to happen. But they're not going to make that happen. And when your paths cross again, pile 1, as I said, it's going to be unexpected. And it feels nerve-wracking for both of you. I shouldn't have doubted my intuition. The Page of Cups. And that's what they think about when they keep going back to the past. They keep thinking about all of those little signs that they had, all of those moments, all of those opportunities that they could have taken that leap of faith and they didn't. I want to grow old with you on the back of the deck. The 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. There could be commitments here. And those commitments could take on a lot of different faces, but there could be commitments here that's why they feel unable to approach. That's where the 4 of Cups comes from. It's a real sense of helplessness because they don't know how to create solutions without creating a lot of havoc. And they're not really prepared to do that. Their feelings, please, for pile 1. We have the Enchanted Forest, mystery, magic, and excitements. And they still like to dream about what could be. They still like to fantasize about that because even the 7 and the 2 is this 9 of Cups energy, this dream fulfillment that they keep bringing forward about you. But it was their fear that suppressed the growth in this connection. And it could have been, again, very mutual between the two of you. But it's their fear that could have suppressed this growth. But now this Tree of Life could represent other investments that you or they have made that now impede the possibilities or the unknown in this connection. Back of the deck is Zen Garden, the Inner Sanctuary. And there's a feeling of kind of escaping to the past here. There's a beautiful sort of connection here that allows us to escape to a better time and place where there's, rose-colored glasses associated with this connection. So your paths will cross again. You will see this person again. It does provide its own opportunity. So it's what you do with that opportunity that makes the difference. But there could be a lot of obstacles at that time as well. For pile number 1, please. Advice in the bowl. The 4 of Cups. Ooh, the Tower reversed. The King of Cups reversed. So somebody who is helpless because they are not about creating disaster and they're trying to avoid that. They're trying to avoid permanent disaster, so they turn their back on their true emotion in lieu of the responsibilities that they have to maintain that tower at the time of the reunion in this connection. And there's a lot of growth from that Six of Cups to this King of Cups. So this person could be a water sign potentially, but they don't have to be. We have V, letter V. I also think about not just the letter, but I think about the Hierophant. Think about commitments. We have the bird that's not in flight. Taurus, so somebody who's protecting something. The tower is over. We have the red, white, and blue eagle. So I think of the Emperor, and I think of strength and somebody who's protecting. Here could be a family unit because here's the baby carriage. We also have the divine feminine whale, so there's somebody who suppressed their feelings and didn't express it, and now that emotion's becoming very heavy. And we have the high priestess with the curled shell and the open book, so somebody who has a lot to say. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, please drop that comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. And you can check out my other links below for Etsy and for Instagram as well. But please come back here to the Tarot Cottage for another day and another visit. I hope that you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the little purple butterfly or to the Wheel of Fortune, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, will your paths cross again? Will you see each other again in person? This Wheel of Fortune is all about fate. And you can see that these cogs are being driven by this heart space here, and she's holding this timepiece. So you may feel kind of really fated to meet this person again. And this could be a sign perhaps that you are right. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look first at the state of this connection, the current feelings. How does this person currently feel about you and reunions in general? What is going on in this connection at this time, please? We have the Hierophant and we have the High Priestess. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords. I feel like you could have known this person in a work setting or some sort of institutional setting. There could have been a hierarchy between the two of you as well. And it's like position dictated that we maintain a certain amount of decorum here. They could have been a superior, for instance, a boss. We have the Nine of Cups. And it's like this is an interesting energy because it feels like this is a situation where there shouldn't be emotions involved here. Like there shouldn't be emotions. It should just be business, and we should keep it very business-like, because there's this a sense of somebody driven by logic, driven by responsibility, and really having to hide and hold their feelings back because they're driven by their position or the way that they know you. So there could be a work element here. And they felt like they should not or they could not express their truth to you at that time. I feel like this person was a very confident person too, or in the very least they portrayed that to you and to the world. And the Ace of Swords. But the truth is that you made them, it's like, I heard that you made them feel helpless, or you made them feel, it's like they lost their power around you. It's like you were their kryptonite or something. I feel like even if you knew this person, or you could even currently maybe like know this person in some sort of institutional setting, I feel like there are also other reasons why they can't or couldn't approach you, because they feel really kind of stuck by their own decisions, and they didn't intend to feel a certain way about you, but that sort of happened. It just happened. I just keep hearing that it just happened. But there's a very strong, stubborn quality to this person, and they feel it's like they are trying to protect what they've built. And so because of that, even if it makes them die of thirst, they'll die on that mountain. Like there's a sense of them really holding out here. Holding on to the fantasy as well, though, even though it hurts, even though it sort of really stings them to be in separation, or to, even if it's an emotional separation. But we're talking about paths crossing, so it's in separation. We have the Fool reversed. Back of the deck is the Page of Swords. And we have the Ace of Cups. Now, the Page of Swords is a watcher mentality, so even if it's in separation, they could be trying to keep tabs on you. If you've moved forward from, again, if there's a work element here and you've moved forward from that position, or they kind of keep tabs on you as well. And there's this fantasy of you that still lives in their head, that they keep very, very secret. But again, there's two keys here. You'll notice when the Hierophant, there's usually two keys crossed as well. So there's a sense of keeping that very secret, not being really ready to leap, because again, they feel very helpless. The Fool and the Four of Cups for me are very similar, especially when the Fool is reversed in this way. I mean, because there's just this sense of like helplessness. It's like, I'm not ready to jump. I'm too scared to jump. Or it would be foolish to jump towards this fantasy. And so that's the quality that stings. It's like, I have to draw from my logic. I can't give in to the faith that I feel. And that can be like very devastating to sort of the general spirit in general, truly, because what they're holding themselves back from is an emotional reset and peace, ultimately, like a feeling of peace. How do they currently feel, please, about a reunion with pile 2? Pay attention to your finances. Pay attention to your responsibilities, to your coin, and happiness and well-being. The Sun reversed. Delays in their own gratification because they're trying to focus on the responsibilities. And we have announcement reversed. So they do even think about reaching out to you. Back here on the floor, actually, I dropped one, is the Tankard, celebration, fun, and enjoyment. So they think about reunions. I think about the Three of Cups with that card. And they really think about reaching out to you, but they feel like that would be a foolish endeavor at this time. Here on the back of the deck, we have Egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. And there's this sense of so much potential here that they want to protect, but they're also protecting everything that they've invested in. Their position, their reputation, their home, whatever's holding them back, they've invested in that too. So they're really kind of on the fence about which investment to rely upon. How do they currently feel, please, about pile 2? Please give me time. I've never felt like this before. I feel like for someone watching, and perhaps not for everyone, so please take this as it resonates, but I feel like one of you would have proclaimed something. You may have said something to this person, because I feel like for someone, the secret's out. It's like somebody knows, and that's why perhaps there had to be this separation, because it just was too much. Do you think about me too? They are curious if you are on their mind, or if they are on your mind as much as you are on theirs. But if I follow you, I could lose absolutely everything. And that is what the Tower can represent. And that's why they feel so stuck with the Eight of Swords. But they are acknowledging that they put themselves in that trap. They willingly walked into their position. You are very special, the 21 reversed. So things are unfinished. And they feel frustrated because they don't know if they'll ever know where this could go, because they're too stressed out with the Ace of Pentacles here reversed as well. And I want you. But they're stressed out to take on that temptation, and to really give in to that temptation is really scary to them. Back of the deck says, I'm in so much pain. So let's take a look and see if there will be a reunion and what the circumstances will be. Will there be a reunion here? I'm going to put these down so we don't run out of space. Will there be a reunion? Will their paths cross again? We have the Lovers. Ace of Pentacles. The Devil. The King of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Two of Swords and the Star. What's interesting about the future in this connection, pile 2, is that the communication is going to open up before you physically see one another again. So someone is going to reach out to someone else here, and it feels it could be the Divine Feminine reaching out, but it could also be the Divine Masculine as well. So there's a communication that comes in that is fueled with desire and temptation and decision. And with this communication opens up a natural opportunity. But also with that opportunity holds a lot of complications as well, I feel. So there's this sense of retreat here with the Four of Swords after the communication comes in, and indecision on what to do. Because again, it opens up this portal, opens up this opportunity, but there's still attachments or there's still complications that we have to detach from. So time will bring in this communication, and I feel like it could come in within the year. So if this has been a long-standing no contact, this could come in within a year's time, this communication, which opens up the possibility of crossing paths physically. But it's something that I feel like will be planned. If those paths cross, you guys will plan that action because the communication opens up first, which does prove to be a little bit, I think there's a strong sense of temptation here. Can we clarify the King of Pentacles, please? Oops. The Wheel of Fortune, yeah. And we started with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like it will be the Divine Feminine that pushes that wheel. And then we're left with these options, Spirit says. We have these options that open up, and we are being pulled in different directions at that time. And there's this, again, there's the Nine of Cups and there's the Four of Cups. So there's this sense of wishful thinking. And with the 9 and the 3 together, or the 9 and the 4 together, there's a sense of the death energy coming in, this portal, this opportunity for rebirth, but it does potentially come at a cost as well. So Spirit says that for you, pile 2, that your paths will cross if you choose them to, because communication will open up first, and we'll have to rifle through some of those complications at that time. But there's still going to be some sort of momentum or progress coming forward, so that's very interesting. Let's get a charm rule, please, for pile number 2, advice in the bowl from their guides and angels. Whoops, I missed the bowl. There's going to be some delay here, the Four of Cups, delays, and then we have the Hermit. Ultimately, I feel like the drive for contact and the drive to kind of ease some of the loneliness is going to be what drives forward the communication here. It's like the delay becomes too much, it becomes too frustrating. So, but even when that contact opens up, you can see there's still some delays in the actual meeting, the actual physical meetup. There's still going to be delays there because we'll have to take some practical steps to get there. In the bowl today, we have M and V and R. We have the baby shark. And I think about children, of course, but I also think about taking advantage of opportunities. We have the temptation, or not the temptation, the attraction of the lipstick. We have the group of bananas. I think about friends. And we have a penny here from 1980. I think about communication. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the anchor with the circle. So there's the circle always reminds me of the Fool's Leap. So taking a leap of faith, even though it's anchored. So there's a sense of stagnation, but then this communication comes in, but there's still some complications that we might have to deal with. All right, pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. Please drop your comment below and hit your notification bell if you would like to be entered for a chance to win a free reading with me. Be sure to check out my other links as well below for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. And also my Instagram link is down there as well. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, group number 3. You are drawn to the dark orange butterfly or to the Sun card, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, will your paths cross again? Will you see this person again in this lifetime? The Sun card is all about clarity, talks about joy as well. So this could be a good indicator that luck is on your side. So let's take a look here. We're going to start with current feelings from your person and what's currently going on in this connection before we see what the future holds here. So how are they currently feeling about the situation and about a reunion with pile number 3, please? We have the 3 of Cups. This could be a friend. This could be a friend that you are missing. Perhaps you wanted it to be more, but the 3 of Cups is somebody that you used to have a lot of fun with, where there's a lot of potential as well. And it is a card that sort of longs for the past, longs for lighter times, or it's flooded with nostalgia because of all the fun that we had. And it does represent a certain time in our life. We have here the 10 of Swords. And that's a stark contrast with this person's energy at this time. Here is the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Strength. And we have the Page of Cups. This person really kind of doubted themselves in the past when it came to you. They doubted how you felt about them. They doubted themselves. They doubted their strength, if they could power through that situation. Back of the deck here, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Temperance. I don't even know where to put this. It's so tall. I'm afraid, oh, see, yeah. So there's this sense of somebody who's grown up a lot too since you knew them. So I feel like you could have even known this person as a child or very young, maybe just coming up in high school perhaps, and there's just been a lot of evolution, a lot of growth over time here. This could be a long-standing separation, because the 10 of Swords is somebody who kind of is hoping for a reunion but doesn't really expect one at this time. It's like they feel like they really lost a chance. They really lost a chance, and now they're really kicking themselves for it too. Like, it feels like they're really frustrated with themselves because of actions that they really should have taken, and they really feel like they doubted themselves. But they've learned some really valuable lessons when it comes to you, and when it comes to feelings like they had for you in general. Because now it feels like they're just trying to make it through. They're trying to find joy along the way. But they do think about what it would be like to come back together, for instance. But they also think about you in a less innocent way as well. There's a curiosity there that exists. Here is the Sun. Could be Leo energy here with the Strength, with the Sun coming out. The Hermit. The 3 of Pentacles. The Page of Cups. They do think about reaching out to you suddenly out of the blue, and they wonder how you would handle that if they were to just sort of pop up and kind of reach out to you out of the blue. Because they almost feel like the necessity to apologize to you for not seeing clearly, for not seeing you. You could be the Leo here, the beautiful Queen of Wands and the 5 of Wands. And they still somehow, even all this time has passed, they get really kind of jealous over you. If you're in new foundations, they think about that, and they feel like that's impeding potential as well. So they get really kind of frustrated at that sometimes. But they still get jealous when it comes to you. There is this claim of you perhaps walking away and you having moved on, and that's also something that they wonder about too, that you've probably moved on, or they assume that you've moved on, which is why they feel like they should move on or move forward here with the 10 of Swords, but they're conflicted. You know, it's like they're conflicted. It's like they know they should move on, but they've reached this stage of like, I don't know how to move on. It's like they're still holding up that torch. They still have this light in their candle, or this light in their lantern for you. So they're still so influenced by the past in the present moment. And they still have so many curiosities about you and about who you've become and who you've grown into, truly. I truly feel peace at this moment for pile 3. We have Moonlight Goddess, repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. And that's what you are to them. You are this goddess. And they did repress so many truths about you because they were afraid to let that kind of shine in the sun. And now they've had that epiphany hit them. And we have perception beyond the veil of illusion, because they don't think that you feel the same way. Spirit just says that they don't think that you feel the same way, and they need to look past that, because that's what's impeding them now. They've just shifted their fear into a different form. It's still fear, but it's now in a different shape. We have healing, reconnection with your true nature. And there is this desire to bring forward an apology. It's like they almost feel like compelled to do that. So they really want that closure to come into. I want to get some message cards about their current thoughts, please, for pile number 3. What are some of their current thoughts for pile number 3 at this time? I'm always reminded of you. You could have a very common name, or have a name that is like on packaging. And I know that sounds weird, but like, I know that sounds weird, but like if you're like, for instance, Little Debbie, the cakes, your name could be Debbie, for instance. It's like your name could be on something where they see it often, because they're always reminded of you. And there are visual things that they see that remind them of you. No one can change my love for you. They have a very special place in their heart for you. And they're very protective of that. My nerves have been getting the best of me. I think of the 9 of Swords when I see that card. I think about somebody who overthinks so much, and that's a habit. This person's made a habit of that from the time you guys were children or young adults, or whatever the dynamic was when the two of you were hanging out. They were always kind of letting fear rule them. You gave me that spark. And now they wish that they had run with that spark and breathed air into it. And the sexual thoughts that run through my mind, because they're not all innocent. As I said, the Temperance is all about mixing together, and they are curious about you in that way. I have options, but I only want you. Even if they've moved into a different dynamic, they are still very curious about you. They still feel very, it's like they've seen the light. It's like they've seen the light about where this could have gone. But let's take a look and see if your paths will cross again. So let's see here. Actually, I want to use a different deck than that. Will your paths cross again, and what will happen? Ace of Pentacles. The Death card. The Six of Cups. The Queen of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. Back of the deck we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Tower. Yes, your paths will cross again, and it's interesting because Spirit says it's going to start with communication first, and then there will be a full-fledged reunion. And there's a sense of like permanent love coming in with the Queen of Cups here. There's a real sense of mutual emotional purging, perhaps even. I feel like there's a really shared experience in this reunion. So, but it starts with communication, which opens up that door. Now the Death energy comes out as well, which is that rebirth opportunity, and you guys take it, because here's that Six of Cups, which is all about reunions, being generous with one another. It provides a renewal of romance, though. It feels like a renewal of romance. Now, what's interesting about this renewal of romance is then it's followed up by the Five of Pentacles and the Tower energy here. So for someone watching, this could pose some interesting complications to already present connections or already present investments. So that will be that will be for you to navigate at that time if you choose to kind of follow through with the reunion here. But Spirit says there will be a reunion, and there does seem to be somebody who speaks their mind emotionally. This King of Cups, the Queen of Cups are on the same page now, because this King of Swords steps in with the truth. And you can see he's holding onto that flamingo, which is his sword at the moment, but it's about embracing the in-between and everything that he's learned there. So there's like a big emotional talk or a big emotional purging to expect. And it really speaks about sort of the shared experience of the separation. It really highlights that for the two of you, which does create epiphanies for, I think, both of you. Because look, oh, there's the King and Queen of Pentacles too. So the King and Queen of Cups, the King and Queen of Pentacles, it creates epiphanies for both of you. But it also, those epiphanies cannot be unseen at that time. So then it poses some interesting choices, for the future, and interesting choices for what we're going to do with everything that we find out mutually about one another. So it's not only going to be a reunion, it's going to sort of open your eyes. It's going to open your eyes to the truth of how they truly feel. It's going to open their eyes to your truth as well. And then it poses a very interesting option and opportunity and choice for both of you at that time. So it's kind of sweet though with this emotional purging. It just kind of starts with a text, or it starts with some sort of communication, and then catapults from there into this big emotional reunion. So that's very good news for you, pile 3. Let's get a charm bowl and some advice for pile 3 in the charm bowl in regards to this reunion coming up. Which I noticed that the emotional purge then kind of created options for the King and Queen of Pentacles, which is the practical realm and our investments. So that's the interesting dynamic of the future. It's how you'll navigate your options at that time. So we have the World, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Wands reversed. So the World is all about success, so that's very good. The Ace of Cups is this new emotional beginning that affords us some peace as well, because it kind of clears out the emotional clutter that we've been carrying, the what ifs, the wonders. It's like, how did they feel? How did you feel? That's all cleared out, which is great. But then we have this Two of Wands reversed. So delays to complete fulfillment, some delays to a little bit of expansion. He's holding the world in his hands, which means there could be a bit of some leaps of faith or some risk taking involved in the future with that new emotional opportunity. So that's interesting. Please drop your comments below. I'm curious about how this is resonating with you. So it's a very interesting energy coming through. We have the letter R in the bowl. We have how I feel about you makes my heart long to be free with this charm. We also have here divine mercy in the bowl too, with Jesus of divine mercy. So there could be a Catholic connection. We have the 2 acorns. And the acorn, there's 2 of them here. It's really about communication. It's about 2 people coming together and opportunities. And, you know, the squirrel plants the acorn, and they're often very afraid to go out on a limb. So there's a sense of that here. We have the divine feminine starfish here about healing, release. We have just be. And we do have the bravery here, the red, white, and blue eagle with the heart. So it's really going to take a lot of vulnerability for this big emotional purge, but the Spirit says it's going to be very mutual. You guys are going to help each other in that emotional purge. And the screwdriver, putting in effort. All right, pile 3, this is what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, please drop that comment below and hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you are chosen the winner of the free reading. You can check out my other links below if you're interested in a personal reading or in checking out my Instagram account. That link is below as well. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.